Hi guys, welcome to the session on Python, and today we are going to look at Python strings. So we have already seen certain things in Python in our previous video. This video is a continuation to that. So we have already seen the primitive data types like integer, float, long integer, complex numbers, hexadecimal, octal, and we have seen bit of strings as well in our last session. So this session will be exclusively on Python strings, and why it is like Python strings are not simple data types. They have a lot of characteristics, and that's the reason why I have specially made a video on Python strings, and this is what we are going to see in this session. All right, to get started, when we are dealing with strings in Python, so whatever you are putting within single quotes, two single quotes or two double quotes, that will be taken as strings in Python. Example, so suppose I'm taking it as s equal to Python programming. See, let's take the type of yes, it's a string, and it doesn't need that we need to place that within two single quotes. We can place that even between two double quotes as well. So even this will be considered as string. So in Python, strings can be represented between two single quotes or between two double quotes. So that is one thing about the strings in Python. And the next thing is you can create multi-line strings in Python using backslashes. How to create that? So I'll show you. This is a multi-line string. I can put a backslash. This second line. This is the third line. Yes. Type of yes. S1 here. String. When you print it, you will get this as a single string. So in this case, what I did is like I used backslash to put my string in multi-line, and when I printed it, it has printed everything in a single line. I can even use print of S1. This will also do the same thing. Since it's in the interpreter, I can just use S1, which will be printing in the console. Right, so this is about having your multi-line strings. And if you people are familiar with Java, there are things like in Java there is a data type called character, where they do something like s equal to a, something like this. When you check the type of these things in Java, it will be character type. Whereas in Python, even a single character, whatever saved within two double quotes or single quotes, it will be taken as a string, and there it will not be taken as a character, because there is no character data type in Python. Everything will be taken as strings, and even a single character will be taken as string width of length 1, and it will not be it will be considered as a string, not as a character. That's one thing which is different from Java. Right, so what are the other things which you can do with strings? So let me go back. I'm just saving it as Python programming. I can use the length function, which is an inbuilt function. See, the length is 18. I can use this. Then I can try with something like min of yes. So it is giving me the space. Max of yes, just giving me y. How these things are happening here? So if you look at it, min of yes will be taking the ASCII of each and every character. So it will be taking the ASCII of each and every character and gives you the minimum ASCII value. So if you take up that space as the minimum ASCII value and y has the maximum ASCII value. To check it, we can go for odd function, odd of y. You get it now. This is the ASCII value. Similarly, you can check the same thing for space. ASCII of space is 32. If I want to print the ASCII of all the entire string, each and every character, then I can put this in a for loop. Right? See, starting from P, and this can be much better if I'm writing in this. print yeah, this should be much better. So you get the ASCII of each and every character. In this case, space has the minimum ASCII and Y has the maximum ASCII. So that is one thing. You can go for a minimum, you can go for the maximum. And there are certain things which you can do or with Python strings. Something like this is your string. If I try something like this, you will get an error. Because when you are using a plus operator, it means that you are doing a concatenation. In this case, it is not compatible. You are trying to concatenate a string along with an integer. That is why it is throwing up an error. But instead of that, if you are doing something like this is perfectly fine, because in this case you are concatenating a string along with a string. Though it is number 3, it is not taken as a number. Since it is within two single quotes, it will be considered as a string. So it is just concatenating the string. And anything like this, Python, you can do into 3, where your string gets multiplied. And where can I use these things? You can do something fancy like this. I can use a star into 50. This will be something like this, and similarly I can use something like this, where we can do these things to print something fancy. And in case of reports, you can use these kind of notations. That will be very much helpful, right? And don't try something like this, because division, subtraction, these things doesn't work with your strings. Right, now let's get into the next part, indexing and slicing of your strings. So indexing and slicing, what do you mean by indexing and slicing? Each and every data type in Python, when it is having more than one character with it can be accessed using your index. So in our case, our string is Python programming. I can access the index of 0. So this is the case. See, it is giving me P, which is in the 0th index. So starting in Python, the index starts with 0 and not from 1. This indexing, which is starting from 0, is common for strings, a list, a tuple, whatever it is. Any of the data type in Python, whenever you face some index, it will be starting from 0 and not from 1. Just have this in mind. So s of 0, s of 1 will give you y, and s of 2 will give you t. So you are very much familiar with this now. And what happens when I want to access something from the last? I can do something like this. So -1 is g, s of -2 is n. So something to access from the end, it is starting from -1. Anything from the beginning, it starts from 0. Right, that is one thing you need to have it in mind. Right, the next thing, Python strings are immutable. If you ask me what are immutable, something like this. We know s of 0 is p. If I do something, if I change the value to j, it will throw up an error. So you cannot modify your strings like this. This is called item assignment, and this is not allowed in Python strings. But you can reassign your string. Instead of this, I can make it as this will work. This is reassignment, whereas this is item assignment. This is not allowed in Python, and this is what we say it as Python strings are immutable. So since we are specifically saying Python strings are immutable, there are cases where certain other data types in Python which are mutable. So in that case, we'll be talking about how to modify those values, but in Python strings, these are immutable. Just have this in mind. Once you have created your strings, everything has to be kept as it is. You cannot modify it. Yeah, that is one thing. Right, s of 0. Let me change the string again. Then s of 0 will give us p, and I can give two things now. See what happens here. So I'm taking a substring here. where I'm saying that I need the string from starting from 0th position ending in 6 minus 1. Always the second element will be subtracted by 1. So starting from 0, P 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I give 6, 6 minus 1, it will end in 5. So you got the string Python. Suppose if I'm giving 7, it will end in 6. You got the space also here in your substring. If it is 8, you will get till P. So it is 8 minus 1, 0 to 7th position. Instead, if I'm giving 2, it will give you starting from 2 ending in 7. If I leave it blank, it means starting of your string. And I can give something like this. If I give minus 1 here, which means starting from 0 ending in minus 1, which is minus 2. So it will end in capital N. So many get confused here. So it's very simple. Whatever value you are seeing here, it has to be subtracted by 1. So in this case, minus 1 is minus 2. So your string is ending in N. Right. If you leave it blank here, it means starting from 5 ending in the end of the string. As simple as that. Right. So let me take one more thing. So we got Python and I'm introducing another character 2. In this case, it is starting with from 0 ending in 5, 6 minus 1, and it is skipping 2 minus 1 places. What is that skipping 2 minus 1? See, this is our string 0 to 5. So in this, it is taking the first character and skipping Y, taking the second character, skipping H, taking the third character 0 O, and skipping N. Instead, if I give 3, taking P, skipping 2 characters, because it's 3, you have to skip 3 minus 1, 2 characters. Then it is taking H and skipping these 2 characters. If I make it 4, P skipping 3 characters, then O and skipping N. If it is 5, P skipping 4 characters and it is taking N. If you go for 6, you'll get only P. So I believe these things are very clear to you because I have done in a step-by-step approach so that it will be easy for you to understand. And one special case is there. When I give colon minus 1, you will get your string reversed. So it is one simple way of reversing a string. Right. And in case if you need the last 3 characters of your string, you can easily do that using, which means I want to start from minus the position, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and leaving the next element blank, which means the end of the string. I can do these things in a different way as well. Something like what you will be seeing now. Yes of colon minus 1, and I'm taking 0 to 4 and minus 1. Okay, 0 to 3. Yeah, this is again giving you the last 3 characters. So let me break it so that you will get some understanding on what I have done. See, this one is nothing but I have reversed my string. Then I'm taking the 3 characters starting from 0, which means starting from 0 ending in 2. So 0, 1, 2. I'll get the first 3 characters here. So let me apply this colon 3. First 3 characters. Now I'm reversing it again. You'll get your last 3 characters. So this is something which looks strange, but in Python you can cascade all these things. Take a string, reverse it, and then take the first 3 characters and then reverse it. You can do all these things. The output of this will be passed as input for this one. The output of this will be passed as input for this one. That's what happens in Python strings. Fine. And what are the other things which we can do in Python strings? You can do member checking. I can check for P n, sorry, yes. Okay, check for your substrings here using in operator, which means that this is called member checking. I can try something like py. If I do something like this is false because capital P is what in our string, but whatever we have searched for is small p, so it is giving me false. This is member checking. And if you are familiar with your C programming, there are certain notations we give for parameters, something like this. Hi, welcome to percentages, percentage d minutes. So this one you'll be familiar in C and other languages. See, I can do something like this, where for percentages the string has been replaced, where for percentage d the number integer has been replaced. If I change this to percentage f, you'll get in the form of a float, and you can adjust your decimal points as well. Okay, yeah, dot to f will give you two decimal places. And many might be wondering why I'm hard coding things here. It is not like hard coding. I can parameterize this as well. So I can do something like course equal to python and duration equal to 60. When I do this, in the same thing I can pass these parameters, course and duration. I'll get the same result, right? So I believe you people are comfortable in this kind of syntax you may be seeing in some program. In that case you shouldn't be struggling to understand what is happening in this print statement. All right, now let's get into the inbuilt functions in our strings. So strings has a lot of inbuilt functions, and to see the inbuilt functions, the command what we are going to use is dir of s. So these are the inbuilt functions in strings, starting from capitalize, center, count, decode, encode, ends with. All these are different functions in our strings. So now to use all these functions, we need to know what is the syntax, how we need to approach all these functions. For that, don't worry, we have help command. So there are two commands which we'll be most often using, which is dir, and then the second one is help. These two are used frequently to understand a lot of things in Python, because since Python is an open source programming, a lot of functionalities has been written in each and every module. Obviously we will not be remembering everything. We will be using dir and help to understand better. So mostly it will be like a on the job training. That's what we'll be doing. Even in our sessions we'll be using these commands predominantly, right? To get the help, suppose I want to know what is capitalized, you can try help of yes dot capitalize. This will give me the string, return the string with the first letter capitalized. Yes is our string, so yes dot capitalize will give me the first letter capitalized. And the second function center, yes dot center, if I'm giving 50, see it will be centering my string in the with a length which is 50. So I can do something like I can check my length as well. See, you will get your length as 50 because I'm applying an inbuilt length function on the center function. So this will be taken as input for this function, so that I'm getting 50. So I'm getting it here. This center function has an additional parameter which is optional. I can give that as star. See, fill character. This is called fill character. To confirm this, go for s dot center. See, fill character is optional. So in your Python help function, help command, if you see something in square brackets, that means it is optional. So it is not mandatory, it is optional. When you don't give this value, default is taken as space. That's what it is explaining you. Dar of yes, count, yes dot count of capital P, view 2. It's all case sensitive. When you try for small p, it is 0. Decode and encode. Yes dot encode, and I'm using UTF-16. See, your string got encoded now. I can use the same string dot decode function, and I have to use the same standard to decode it. UTF-16. It will give back my original string. So you can easily encode and decode your string using these functions. And these are different standards. You can use UTF-8, 16, 24, all those things. So you can browse for all these details. You will get something better. Right. So it ends with yes dot ends with ing. Suppose you want to confirm that your string is ending with ing, you can use this, or you can use in, which is false. Similar to ends with, you can try something like starts with. I was starting with py, so I can check ends with, starts with. And you have a function called expand tabs. Yes dot expand tabs. So in our case, we don't have any meta character for tabs, so it is not displaying anything. Suppose if I'm having a string like this, a slash t, b slash t, c slash t dot expand tabs. See, your tab will be expanded. By default, this will be 8 characters. The space will be 8 characters. Suppose I want it to be 4 spaces, I can give 4 here, which means it will take 4 spaces here in between A and B. Right? That is expand tabs. Find. Yes dot find A. It will give me in which position A is there. So A is in 12th index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12th index. Suppose you are looking for a substring which is not there, find will throw up an error. Sorry, find will give you -1, whereas there is one more function, index will throw up an error. Index and find will do the same thing. I can use s dot index of z. See, it will throw up an error. So find and index will do the same thing. If the value is there, it will give you the results. If the value is not there, find will give you -1, whereas index will give you an error when the string is not there in your particular string. Substring is not there in your particular string. Dir of yes. Right. So I can check for something like is alphanumeric. Apple 1 2 3 4 dot is alphanumeric. So they should return me true. Oh, in this case, I'm changing my string like this. This will return me false because space is not an alphanumeric. I can check it's all alphabets. False because it has numbers in it. So if I'm replacing this with apple, it is true. It's all alphabets. You can check everything is a digit. Is digit. It's false. If I'm changing, suppose there is a mobile number. You can check this. So we can write a simple use case here. Let's take mobile number is this. So we have our mobile number. We need to check whether this mobile number is a valid mobile number, and you want to confirm something like the length is 10 and it's all digits. We can easily do this using the inbuilt functions in Python strings. Let's try to do it. If length of m equal to 10 and m dot is digit, so it has to return true. Both has to print so it's a valid mobile number. What has we have done here, we checked for the length of m and we tried this inbuilt function is digit. So I'm not checking equal to true here, because obviously this function is going to return either true or false, so that will solve my purpose. So if both are true, it will be printing valid mobile number, else it will print me invalid mobile number. See, so we can use the inbuilt functions to apply all these things in our strings, right? So you can check is digit, s dot is lower, it's false because our entire string is in uppercase. But if I try something like this, Python dot is lower, it will give me true. Similarly, you can check is upper, it's false. So you can check for is title, Python programming dot is title. See, here it is false because the title case is like each and every first letter in your string should be caps. If I'm changing like this, you will see it as true, right? And similarly, you can convert a string into a title format. That is very simple. S dot title. We checked for is title. There is another function called title which will do this. Convert your string into a title. Right, and you can swap case as well. S dot swap case will swap all your alphabets. Then you have something called split. S dot split will split your string into words based on spaces by default. So this is what Python programming. If I want to do the split based on some other alphabet, let's take T. See, you will get this because our string is Python programming based on T. This will be taken as the delimiter. Py is the first string, the rest of the things comes in your second string. Now I can easily do stuff like this. Let's take that I have a string. This is new line to test split function in Python. So this is a very simple string. Now if I want to count the number of words in this line or in this string, it's very simple. What I can do is like so it's 11. It's very simple. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, because s1.split has divided everything based on spaces and I'm just counting the length, which is 11. So in a single line using the inbuilt function, what we have done is like we have counted the number of words in this particular string. Right, I can convert everything into uppercase dot upper, can convert everything to upper is it fill. So I can do something like s dot is it fill 15. It will fill all your left padding. It is like a left padding. fill all the blank spaces with zeros. So these are some of the functions, and you have other functions as well, like s dot replace. I'm replacing all m with something like t. See, all the m has been replaced with t. So these are some of the functions in strings. These are not the complete set. And remember, no one can complete the complete set of functions in each and every module. So whatever I have done is like I have given you the gist of functions. Now it's up to you. You have to look at other functions. Look at the help. Suppose you want to know about R strip. So go for help. ASCII returns you a string, returns a copy of the string yes with a trailing white space removed. If there is any white spaces, so trailing the white spaces, so it is something like anything in after the string, if you have white spaces, something like what I can do here is Python dot R strip. See, it is removing all the white spaces. Similarly, L strip will remove from leading, sorry, so I need to try something like this. See, L strip removes all the leading white spaces. Similarly, you can try for other functions, look at the help, then try to implement all those things. More you try the help and AR commands, more functions you can understand, and it will be sticking to your mind. Okay, so I'm just wrapping this session here. So I feel you people are comfortable with in using Python strings. So we have seen pretty much exclusively the Python string characteristics and the inbuilt functionalities. We did slicing and indexing as well, and few special characters like swapping your string, reversing your string, and all those things. I believe you people will be trying this at home. Fine. So that's it for the day today, and we'll be meeting soon in our next Python video. Thank you. Bye.